All right, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is that you inky savages are joining us for episode number 132 of the PenBoyRoy Pentertainment Podcast. Thanks for joining us. Today, we're recording a little bit earlier this week because of my schedule being all over the place, and we want to talk to you about corn chips and blood.
Vampire blood.
Vampire. Well, it would probably, like, if we're talking about vampires, we wouldn't be talking about vampire blood, right? We'd be talking about, I want to make my head level with yours. There we go. We wouldn't be talking about vampire blood. We'd be talking about blood that vampires drink, right?
Right.
So this week's sponsorship, Bryce over at Luxury Brands of America wants us to talk about the new Benu Pomegranate. It's from the Euphoria line, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
The full name is Benu Euphoria Armenian Pomegranate.
Now, when I look at this pen, I honestly think it looks like corn chips mixed in with blood. It's like a sangria for a vampire with corn chips. That's the way I see it. Do you mind sharing the screen for everybody watching so that they can look at it? Let's hope that Riverside FM doesn't screw up. By the way, last week
we're inviting disaster now.
We're inviting trouble, but we got to get these
I had
sponsorships.
the pen itself. That would be awesome.
That would be great. Do you even have them in your possession, or did they not send them out yet?
No, not yet. They are due sometime in September, but who knows when exactly that will be.
Right.
I'm just going to take a look and just find out on their Insta. I did not have it pulled up right this moment, so
you're a bad human being.
Armenian.
So we're looking it up.
Why don't you tell them about the other sponsor thing?
So while he's looking up images of the Armenian pomegranate, I want to just really quick talk to you guys. Please make sure you check out Goldspot.com using the Goldspot.com affiliate link in the description below and make all your purchases for pens, inks, pads, and other knickknacks on the Goldspot affiliate link website that is in the description below. And make sure you use coupon code ROY at checkout to save yourself an additional savings on all products on the Goldspot website with some exclusions applying. Right? Because some brands are a little cheap and they think very highly of themselves, sometimes too highly. Not saying they don't deserve it, but some of them, they get real butthurt and they go nuts if you discount their stuff. So it is what it is. So we're bringing up the screen. This is the image, if you can see. It's called the Armenian Pomegranate Wine. And it's limited to 300 pens. Now, if you look at it, it's this interesting, deep burgundy pomegranate color with flakes of whatever that stuff is, but it looks really cool. And I really do hope that they reconsider the naming of this piece and call it the Armenian Corn Chips and Blood for Count Dracula. Anyway, this pen is in commemoration of the move of Benu from Russia to Armenia. So this pen is fully produced and made in Armenia, absent the nib, which is a Schmidt nib produced in Germany. Mm-hmm. And these are, like I said, limited to 300 pieces. They come in fine, medium, broad. It has a cartridge converter. You guys know all this stuff. It's 26 grams.
Screen, hopefully.
Yeah, it is. It should be, unless Riverside screws things up, as they did last week. But somehow I was able to manage. It's fine. But make sure you check out this pen. Keep your eyes open. Like I said, this is an extremely limited edition of only 300 pieces. Once they're gone, they're gone. Because that's how Benu rolls. They get a lot of advice from like Nintendo, who does stuff like this. They'll release like Pikmin 3, a game that everybody's looking forward to, and then release like 12 of them. And then they sell out immediately. So make sure that you check this out. This is the Benu Pomegranate, Armenian Pomegranate Wine, a.k.a. Corn Chips and Blood. So check it out. It has an MSRP of $168. With retailers online, you can get that at a discount, and with the Goldspot affiliate link.
No, you wouldn't be able to. Actually, they'll be selling at the full MSRP. That's just okay. I think that's how Benu usually goes with the
Okay,
the
so
MSRP,
Benu is one of those brands that we're not able to discount.
Well, I think in terms of the coupon code, you would probably be able to apply it.
Oh, okay. So you can use the coupon code Roy is cool enough on the Goldspot website. So Benu is down with that, but the MSRP is the MSRP. So there's not going to be an additional 20%. So the best you can get this for is $152, I think, which isn't too bad.
No, I'm not doing math right now.
The 10% off of 168 would be $16.80.
Oh, stop it.
It is. I'm not making that up.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not even going to double check you. I'm just gonna say, okay, whatever, it sounds good.
Right.
So it's like $80, right? That's what it is. Like,
yeah. So that's what it is. So since you're throwing up on the internet, you want to just throw up brlcoffeeco.com because that is our third and final sponsor.
You are killing me with this.
Yeah. So
I'm like acting as co-host and producer here with the.
Yeah, man. That's what you get for being able to type 6,000 words in like 20 seconds.
Is it brlcoffee.com, is it?
No, brlcoffeeco.com. They're only our sponsor. Like, how do you not know this? So this is brlcoffeeco.com. It's an awesome coffee brand. I'm actually enjoying a cup right now as we speak because it's early in the morning. Well, for me it is. And they got several different beans. They got some merch. They got T-shirts with a large dose of caffeine and sarcasm. My friend Neil is really hilarious. Love the guy. These are the bags that you can see here. That's a picture of a guy holding a cup of coffee or a girl holding a cup of coffee. Yeah,
it's a very small cup.
Yeah.
It's like an espresso cup.
Yeah.
Can't do anything with that. I mean, unless it was filled with espresso.
I agree. So with this also, please be sure to use coupon code Roy at checkout for an additional 10% discount on all products on the brlcoffeeco.com website. And please check them out. They are some awesome coffee. And one of the biggest things about it is they have blonde roasts all the way up to dark roasts, but just be advised that blonde roasts have more caffeine because you don't cook the caffeine out of the bean. So the darker it is, actually, believe it or not, even though it tastes stronger, doesn't have as much caffeine. So I think that's important. I always get the blondest roast. I always get Kiss of Life. That's my favorite one.
Okay.
And even though it's stronger than all the other beans, guess what? Doesn't give me the crackhead jitters, which is always a good thing. So you can close it now, Tom. You're awesome. Thank you.
Got it.
Let's go back to our hideous skulls. Anyway, thank you again for joining us for episode number 132 of the PenBoyRoy Entertainment Podcast. I said Codpast. Codpast. Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Codpast. But before we get started with this week's episode of the podcast, let me give you guys a quick disclaimer. This podcast is not scripted and therefore will contain potty mouth words, both from Tom and I. Maybe not so much from Tom because I don't know if you can tell. He's actually at work right now. We had to schedule it while he's working. So he's actually stealing time from work, which is much appreciated.
Oh, and don't worry, I got loaded up on stuff that I can actually show you from the office here. So
yeah, so this will
have a little bit of a of Goldspot flavor in there. So.
Yeah, so this is like the fountain pen equivalent of having a friend who works in like a massive military armory, and then like you want to talk about like zombie apocalypse defense, but fountain pens, right? So like if there was ever some sort of invasion by aliens or zombies, and the only thing that could defend us is not in fact weapons but fountain pens, Tom's office is where I would run to. However,
it would be the last bastion of humanity.
Right.
That would, yeah.
However, in my personal opinion, if there was in fact a zombie apocalypse, I would just go to the Metropolitan Museum of Modern Art and then find one of those knights' suits, right?
Okay. Because
zombies can't really chew through metal. Because human teeth is human teeth.
Right.
Just because you're a zombie doesn't give your teeth the ability to chew through metal. So if you're wearing the knight's armor and all that stuff, they can't chew through you. You need a sword. Just start swiping heads, son. That's how it works. But anyway, this podcast is not scripted and therefore will contain potty mouth words, both from Tom and I, mostly from me. So be forewarned, you haven't warned. Now on to the podcast.
The PenBoyRoy Entertainment Podcast. Stay savage.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about these two pens today.
Okay.
You can see these. So this is, on the right, as you can see, a Montblanc 149.
Yes.
On the left, and I only got this one here, this is a Jinhao 149 or 149X. And the one on the left is made of cheap injection molded plastic, costs $14. The one on the right is made of cheap injection molded plastic, costs $1,000. The one on the right, on my right at least, is a Montblanc 149 and has like a number 9 sized 18 karat gold nib. Is it 18?
Right.
It's 18 karat
18,
gold.
Yeah.
So this one was actually a fine when I got it, but it wrote a little bit like a spatula with its broadness. So I had JJ Lax find it for me. He ground it down to a fine. It's fantastic. I love how it writes right now.
I love spatula sizes, though.
Yeah. This one right here, in the Jinhao 149, I haven't written with it yet. It's a number 8 size stainless steel nib. Costs $14. And like this brand is very brazen. Like they copy shit down to like the most minute detail. I'm just shocked. Like, look at the feeds. Like the feeds almost look exactly the same. Like this one's the Montblanc.
Right.
But I wonder if the caps will interchange. No, don't do that. Don't switch your Montblanc 149 cap onto your Jinhao 149X, but 159X. But so I got a couple of comments on the YouTube video where I reviewed the 159, the Jinhao 159 a long time ago, and they're like, do an update. They have one made of plastic. And I'm like, is that so? So I looked it up, and lo and behold, this pen was on Amazon.
Converter? You don't have a converter?
No, I took it out, and the reason why I took it out is because, yes, it's cheaper and stuff, and they almost look identical. But so I want to show you a magic trick. You see the section here?
Yes.
So I unscrewed the barrel from the section for anybody not watching. And I screw the barrel on, and I can do a magic trick. Abracadabra. And the thread assembly is missing. So it's very poorly made. So much so that the thread assembly just doesn't stay on. I can just simply...
So the threads on there are stripped, or is it just that they're supposed to be epoxied into this?
Yeah, they're supposed to be epoxied in. I think they just forgot. Because, like, I screw the body onto the section, and then just a light tug, it comes off, just like that. You know?
I'm sure your version of a light tug is more like a Herculean pull for other people.
No, man. No, this is... I mean, listen, even if I pull a little harder, I don't think it should come off this easily.
No,
right?
It really should not.
Yeah, so, I mean, listen, yes, it's not $1,000. Yes, it only costs $14 and looks virtually identical to the Montblanc 149. The only difference is it only has one center band versus the Montblanc 149 has 3 center bands in classic Montblanc style.
The snowflake.
It doesn't have the snowflake that jacks up the price by $894. It doesn't have a gold nib. They even changed the clip to look a little bit more like the Montblanc 149, so it doesn't have that cheesy looking shield with that emblem on it.
Right.
This one's not
like the Jinhao does like looks like a horse is drawing a cart or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I do like the look of the nib. It's huge and stuff. I'm almost bewildered by how much stuff they copied. It's kind of shameless even. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but,
I mean, but like you saw when you're taking it apart, it's just like
it just falls apart.
It fell apart on you. So how reliable is this going to be, even like 2 weeks from now?
Right. So I have to epoxy it or send it back? Like, I don't know what it's $14. I'm not sure what I should do. Should I just send it back?
I don't really see that there's like any way for you to be able to get any. I mean, because like what, you bought it off of Etsy?
Amazon.
Or Amazon.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you could probably get your money back from Amazon because it's probably you just
Yeah.
say like, oh, I had a problem with it, whatever. Amazon usually refunds you for any reason.
Right.
So
I'm probably gonna just do that or just return it altogether.
Well, I would be curious to get your, like people were saying on the YouTube video, I would be curious to get your updated review on that. By getting, like, maybe if, let's say you bought 5 of them.
Right.
Because, I mean, like, they're $15 a piece. If you invested $60 in it, just so you'd be able to say, out of this group of 5, this many would have an issue or this, or, you know, like, just so you could kind of get a fair sample of those pens.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it could certainly be that you got a bum one. So
why is it always me, and why am I always so unlucky that I always wind up with the jacked up version of something that they send or something that I get, right?
I don't know.
And then when I talk about
it's a contact sport, so you keep buying stuff and you end up coming across these issues just because there's such a high volume of things being purchased.
Right, but at that high of a volume, how come the guy who happens to talk about it on the internet and have podcasts about it keeps getting the bum ones?
Because
you know what I mean?
They don't recognize the genius, and the problem is that they have to look at the shipping address first. They have to look at who they're sending to first, and to say, hey, that guy's gonna show this on YouTube, so we better send him a really, really good piece.
Yeah, but they give zero fucks about that, and secondly, that would be an disingenuous way of doing business. Right? Like, seriously, when you send out pens from Goldspot, do you give a shit who you're sending it out to? No, you send it out equilaterally across the board to every single person, right? If Figboot ordered from you, are you going to just be like, everybody hold the phone, stop what you're fucking doing, get the best one, and then send it to Figboot? Or you just grab any sample of what you have and then send it to Figboot, right?
Well, it will usually be a representative sample of what
Right.
we have. And, of course, anything, especially if it's a more expensive item, we're going to have to double check it just to make sure that it is not having any of those types of issues.
But you do
out
that
of the
for
box.
anybody, irrespective of who they are. Is that correct?
It's based on the value of the item itself. So if it's a Yukari, Namiki, Emperor, whatever, or even a gold nib Esterbrook or Edison or a Pilot, that's whatever. Anything that's a very high value type pen has to get a look over. So.
Yeah. But my point is that goes for anybody's order.
Right.
Right. So it's not just for
It's not
Dr.
just
Brown.
for those that we know are going to end up posting something online. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
So I had a pen actually that I wanted to show you. Speaking of things that kind of, came up.
One real quick. I just want to give a friend of mine a shout out real quick. Marilyn, if you're listening, I don't want to put your business out there, but I'm thinking about you. I hope you feel better. I sent you a present. Tom sent you one. I hope you get it. I hope you love it. We love you. I like horses. All right, go ahead.
All right, so this was actually part of the mystery dip that was part of the Goldspot mystery dip last month. So this was the Esterbrook Camden, and
Who's coughing in the background?
that's my dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey Ben, Mr. Otto.
He can't hear you.
Oh.
But Roy says hi.
Yeah.
He says hi.
Hey, get him on here. So tell him tell him to walk around and say hi to everybody. This is the man responsible for the great Thomas William Otto. Just
So now, Dad, he wants you to come on just to say and say hello. If you want to come around the desk here and say,
just come over and
he's-
say, come on, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Is he coming?
No, he's too shy. So
All right. Well, he's your dad and he's older than us, so I'm not going to bother him if he says no. No means no. Mm-hmm. So, all right. So you're talking about that the Camden, the Esterbrook Camden.
Yeah. So if you've seen on the website,
Excuse me.
bless you. So we had a mystery dip back in August. It was actually pretty successful, and in it was the Esterbrook Camden, and it came in this Goldspot box. Came with some samples in it.
All right. So everybody might not be watching. So can you just talk about the box a little bit?
Oh, okay.
Explain to people what you're holding. I know what you're holding, but
so it's a black Goldspot gift box. It's got the Goldspot logo and foil here.
Center it. There you go.
Well, I'm supposed to be talking about it, not necessarily like showing it right now at the moment, right?
Might as well do both.
So I'm trying to do both at the same time. This is not easy, folks. So I'm opening up. It's a magnetic flat box, so it's not your standard Esterbrook box. It's a magnetic flat box. It's got the Esterbrook accoutrement that comes inside. It's got the little cloth in here.
Accoutrement.
Yeah, and it's got 5 different ink samples, of which have... I just dropped
You dropped it. Did you ever see that Simpsons episode
That's
where
what I was gonna say. You sound exactly like Nelson right now.
No, Homer in that episode where he like goes to college and like the professor's making a joke and then all the intellectual college students are laughing at his jokes, and then like the professor drops his notes, and then Homer's like, ha ha ha, you dropped his notes, ha ha ha. Remember? No? All right. Anyway, go back to the box. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So that's okay. So in it included the Estabrook Camden. So it was available in the silver, the black, or there was also rose. And what happened was, I mean, a lot of the boxes completely. People are super satisfied, love it. You can see the reviews on the website, but there was just a few, and that's what I was saying about representative samples. There were just a few that had a bit of an issue with the inner cap lining. So you can see like this cap, it's all metalled on the inside here, but then the cup with the spring and the entire part here is all in pieces. So
it's as if Jinhao made it.
I don't think Ryan would very much appreciate that.
I don't care.
But
listen, your shit falls apart just like a Jinhao. I'm calling it for what it is. He's gonna be so mad. He's gonna be like, "That's not true, Roy." He's gonna call me up, send me text. The thing
is that if it happened to all of them, there would be a big issue. It only happened to. I had like 3 different pens here. Mm-hmm. That had this issue. So these obviously are going to be going back to Estabrook. But yeah, they'll take care of us and everything.
Of
but
course
like, sometimes this kind of stuff happens. So
right,
there's you just kind of have to roll with it when it does, because I mean, not every single piece is going to be perfect, and you're not going to be able to see some of this stuff until you really play with it for a little bit. And then I
thought that the inner cap on the Camdens were not springs. I thought they were bladders, like little silicone bladders. That's what Ryan had told me. So he lied to me. He told me it was a silicone bladder, like a little bladder.
What? Because these are the first iterations of Camden, these might be exclusionary to that rule.
Do you see this Camden?
Yeah, I see that Camden.
Do you have this Camden?
Is that the new Polar? No, it's not the new Polar Lights one.
No, this is the Accutron version.
Oh, right. Accutron. No, I think the Accutron was not available. We did the Accutron SD, but I don't think we did the Camden one.
What makes the Accutron SD an Accutron SD, other than the fact that they put Accutron on it?
That is what makes it
right. The reason why I asked that is because all they did was use the Jonathan. No, what was it? Tim McKenzie material.
Yeah, McKenzie material and like an emerald with gold.
Yeah, and then used the name Accutron
logo. Yeah,
and Accutron's like, yeah, that looks good. Let's go with it.
Yeah,
right. Like this one here, the Accutron Camden, the price was jacked up by a whole lot because it says Accutron on it.
Yeah,
and because it's green.
It's green. Well, I mean, it's pretty cool. I like it.
I certainly do like the green. I don't know if I mentioned this to you. I'm a big fan of the color green.
I don't know if I've ever talked about this with you, but I am a big fan of the color blue. So
I didn't know that. I'm going to be honest with you. Do you like elephants? I like elephants.
Elephants are cool.
Yeah, baby elephants are adorable.
Yeah.
I wonder which animal has a higher, level of testosterone, hippos or elephants?
Hippos, surprisingly, this is something that you don't really understand when you're a child and looking at picture books of animals and safari or whatever. That hippos are really some mean.
Oh, dude, they are
animals.
Let me tell you how mean hippos are. Hippos are about as mean as Ryan from Kenro when you tell him that one of his pens are defective, right? But hippos, they have such aggressive territorial nature that they're responsible. I think they're the number one killer of human beings in Africa, right? So if you're wading around in a pool and then there happens to be a hippo in that lake or body of water, you're so fucked, right? The hippo will bite down on a human being the same way you will bite down on an egg roll. The crunching, the power, terrifying. And then these fucking hippos, man, they look like big blimps with stubby little tortoise legs, but these fuckers can run. Oh my goodness. Did you ever see that one video of the hippo chasing a boat? All you can see is the ripple of the water coming towards the boat as fast as the boat is like driving or boating, whatever you call it when you're riding a boat on water with a motor. And then it jumps out like a fucking monster trying to catch the boat.
Now, have you seen that other video that's making rounds with the woman that's swimming in the water, and behind it they're narrating saying it's like, oh well, if you know to splash is inviting the shark to think that you're its prey, but you shouldn't really be splashing, and she's splashing as she's like flippering in the water. And then it's like, well, if then one comes up to you, and there's like the narration is like so calm, and I'm just like freaking out because you could see the shark coming up behind her, and like they're saying like, oh, don't splash, and she's splashing, and I'm like, what is going on? So it's like, oh, if the shark comes up next to you, then you just go and you put your hand on like right between like right on its nose, and then you just press it away, and then she just turns around like calmly and just like does it, and then just push it, and then just like bats away the shark. I'm like, how did that happen?
Is that what happened? I saw a video. I can't remember on what social media platform I was watching, but I did see a video where I guess it said something like how to defend yourself against a shark attack. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, I can't watch that because if this person just gets eaten, like I just don't want to see that. So I just scrolled past it. But is that it? Like they were wearing a bodysuit?
Yeah, wearing a bodysuit, was just flippering in the water, and then the shark's coming up. You could see it coming up from the background to the foreground, and just see woman just turns around, just puts the hand on the shark, just kind of bats it away. I'm like that would not happen with a hippo. A hippo, you would be gone. That's it.
No. A hippo, you quickly as possible, wherever you are. Text your family you love them. That's it. That's pretty much all you can do when a hippo is coming after you. That's extremely super crazy, territorial, aggressive animal. And there's not much you can do. Like, if you find a cute baby hippo, call like a zoo. Don't think you can raise that thing. Mm-hmm. I've seen this article on this Russian dude. He found a baby hippo and it needed help. So he brought the baby hippo home and nursed it back to health, raised this baby hippo for 6 years until the baby hippo, who's no longer a baby, dragged him back into the river where he was rescued and ate him. And this guy wasn't a small dude either, right?
That's terrible.
Yeah, it sucks. So baby hippos are adorable. Like, if you look at a baby hippo, you can't help but think it's adorable. As a matter of fact, baby animal.
I think it's also based on the conditioning that we get from all the things that you would see like when you're a child, because you don't really see. I mean, yeah, maybe like more so now in the Finding Nemo era, you might be seeing like some sharks portrayed as being friendly, but when it comes to like how, you know, the shark, major predator that's terrifying and will rip you to pieces with the jagged sharp teeth, versus hippo, which are often portrayed as like being just, you know, jolly or friendly, you know, that they don't really have that same sort of meanness about them that they do in real life.
Yeah.
I think somebody needs to change this.
I think we need to
angry hippo story.
We need to educate children on the dangers of playing with a live hippo, right? Because I feel like that this awareness is not out there, right? Especially since a small child, could comfortably fit inside the gaping mouth of a hippo, right? Like, we got to stop portraying hippos as cute, cuddly animals. They might be cute and cuddly for like the first second until it decides that it doesn't want you to exist anymore.
Yes.
Right? So as a matter of fact, write down a note, Tom. When you go home today, I want you to remind your kids, don't fuck with hippos.
Give me a second. Oh, I'm just writing it down here.
Don't fuck with hippos.
Okay. With hippos.
There needs to be a greater awareness on the dangers of fucking with hippos. Elephants, I don't think are as bad. Although elephants, they go through like a seasonal change where their testosterone level jacks up through the roof, and then they just they go crazy and they're just like angry and stuff like that. But yeah, so two things that everybody listening to this podcast, I wanted the big takeaway. Well, a couple of things is Benu's coming out with Corn Chips and Blood. Looks really cool. The Jinhao X159 fell apart on me. I'm going to try to get another one so that way we can, get a good review of it. And hippos are fucking dangerous, and so are elephants sometimes. Don't piss them off. I just think it's a good idea when an animal is like 10 tons heavier than you. Leave them alone. So,
a bit of wide berth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a chance to talk to Bryce. I got to talk to Bryce because my Platinum Caridas. Everybody listening from last week. Yeah, the lost Platinum Caridas, yeah. Though it's not his responsibility to replace it. Oh, by the way, this is the Nar-whatever the fuck you call it. The Nar-whatever. By the way, that was Marilyn's name for this brand now. Nar-whatever.
Nar-whatever.
Nar-whatever. I kind of fixed it, but did you know that the piston knob just unscrews off the black end?
Is that's sometimes with which one is that? The sky blue?
This is the Peter Draws one.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was unscrewing the piston, and the piston didn't actuate, didn't move. Just the back end knob just kind of unscrewed. So what I ended up doing was I took the TWSBI wrench, held the wrench in place, and then just tightened it. So it hasn't done that since then. But
okay.
I think we need to have a talk with Frank.
Yeah. So what happened was I think the piston resistance, the stickiness of the piston, like held it in place, and then allowed it to unscrew.
Yeah, but that shouldn't happen. Like a piston shouldn't be so resistant that it's gonna. Yeah, gotcha. It's gonna unscrew the whole thing. So let's get that worked on. I do love this. Though.
Like maybe put more threads on the piston on the blowing cap, or
just when they assemble the fucking thing, make sure that they don't use like fucking 2-year-old baby hands to do it, and just tighten it so it doesn't fall off. Easy, simple.
Like you wouldn't like put epoxy on it or anything like that.
Oh no. Just like when they're assembling it, they have to hold. They have to, for everybody listening, I'm putting a TWSBI wrench on it. They have to hold it in place so that it doesn't,
I think your use of that TWSBI wrench on the Novelore might get you a sternly worded email, possibly. So just be careful.
Listen, I'm using a TWSBI wrench on a Nar-whatever. Whoever, if you have a problem with it, you can kiss my ass because it works. And I don't care what brand has a problem with it. If you have a problem, and then what ended up happening was I overdid it, so now which direction do I have to rotate this to unscrew the piston?
It's the direction that you, like, it's opposite of the direction you think you're supposed to do it in.
So lefty loosey would be wrong, right?
I think so.
All right, so now it's not unscrewing. I think I just tightened things a little bit too much last time. All right, so I kind of fucked this one up.
All right, as
who would send me
fix that pen.
Who thinks that they have the right to tell me not to use a TWSBI wrench on my pen? Like, do you think TWSBI's gonna reach out to me? I hope he does.
I'm just joking, dude.
Yeah,
I'm being the police for you right now.
I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. So now that I overdid it, what ended up happening was I kind of screwed this up. I over tightened it, so now the piston in its fully retracted state is like it won't close because the piston goes down too much.
All right, so you're gonna have to take it apart and then put it back together.
Yeah. I wish I had a metal TWSBI wrench. You know what would be great if Nar-whatever decided to include a wrench with their pen.
There actually should be a wrench with the Peter Draws pen.
Really?
If it's still if you still have the box somewhere. No. If
you saw the rest of my room, you'd understand why it's not. It's why I don't.
Do I see an air fryer in the back there? Is that an air fryer box?
No.
Yes.
Air frying is awesome, man. Don't judge.
No, I'm not. I'm not judging. I'm not judging. It's just as long as it's not a deep fryer box. No.
What's wrong with deep frying?
Then we got questions.
Why? Use avocado oil.
Okay, but what do you like? Are you gonna be just throwing whatever it is in there without dredging it first to get that
dredging?
Nice dredging it in the breadcrumbs and eggs.
Oh no, I don't use breadcrumbs, dude. You know what you should do? Try this. Take Brussels sprouts, dunk it in fucking avocado oil, and deep fry it. It's so good.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good.
I just usually like doing the pan roast because then I don't require having to put lots of oil on things.
Yeah, it does come. It's expensive because avocado oil when you get good ones.
Real expensive.
I really messed this one up. So it's righty tighty, but
oh god, you have to make me look it up now because I just don't know. It's in one of the videos. I forget exactly.
How dare you forget?
Yeah, I forget because it's counter to what you usually would do.
I did it so tight that the TWSBI wrench is now no good. Wow. I shredded the TWSBI wrench. All right, so I'll have to do this later because I don't need people watching me trying to do this, but I will get it done.
I wanted to show you a pen. Can I show you a pen?
Show me a pen. What is that? That looks like a Laban.
It is.
Laban.
It is the Laban Formosa.
Formosa?
Yes. It is. It's one of their skeleton designs. Skeleton metal overlay. But instead of the clear 300 collection, that you would usually just see through the entire barrel, this has got some pretty nice blue acrylic, speaking of my affinity towards blue. It's got like a nice swirly blue acrylic, kind of similar to the Leonardo Positano blue.
Positano.
You could see like some lighter white swirls through it.
Yeah, I speak Italian good. It's Positano, right?
Yes. All right. So then you got this is a cartridge converter, so you got the converter in there. You can't see through the material like you would with the Skeleton 300, but the Formosa is pretty nice. Also, too, it's got a Yovo nib on here, but it's a little bit different than your usual Laban Yovo nib in that it's actually got a mountain engraved on it. It says Laban, and then it has water too, so it looks pretty nice if you see it on the screen here. It's hard for me to kind of get a really close up here, but I'm trying to describe it as best as possible.
Yeah, no, it looks cool.
Yeah,
totally paying attention this whole time.
Yes, exactly. We see you going off screen. So.
Oh, that's true, right? Because this is a video. Mm-hmm. No, because I was looking for the wrench that came with the Peter Draws because it's bothering me.
Yeah, so I figure while you were looking for that, I could just at least show our viewers something that's on.
Hey,
screen,
man,
so.
I like it. That whole skeletal pen thing is getting bigger now, right? Everybody seems to be doing it.
I think Laban is kind of that's how they cut their teeth in the pen industry, is that they always did metal overlays. So this is kind of like their wheelhouse, I would say. If you were looking at this, and I've seen pens similar.
Put it towards the center more because you're holding it off screen.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at I'm looking at it more compact, so I'm actually looking at like where our screens are more horizontal. That's why
so if you just keep it, towards the middle,
keep it in the middle here.
Hey, I have a question. Does that come in different colors? The acrylic are different colors, and the metals are different colors, or is it just that one model?
Just this one model right now.
Okay, so they deliberately made that to match your shirt, because if you hold it up, it looks like it's made for your shirt.
It basically is.
Yeah, it's
kind of
that thing,
camouflage right now.
Dude, it's like the fucking Predator standing in the forest right now. You can't even see it. Right? Look at that thing. That thing is we're going to call that the Tom Otto Hawaiian shirt edition. Right?
It's pretty nice. I like it. It's got a metal section that probably doesn't do much
that's gonna ruin it for some people.
Yeah, but right? It is was it concave, right? Is when you have it coming in like this, so it's concave. Mm-hmm. So it does offer some area for gripping. So for gripping. Yeah. But it's a pretty nice pen.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. I feel like it's a little bit too ostentatious. Right?
Well, I would say it does draw attention to itself for sure.
Yeah.
But I think if that might be your goal, if you like something like this, is that
I hear you.
it does, say, hey, this is a pretty cool looking thing I'm writing with.
Hey, look at me. Yeah, I definitely. Can I go back to the Jinhao X159 one more time?
Sure.
What I wanted to say was also, I also think what's annoying about this, but not really that big of a deal, is 1, 2, 3 full rotations to cap and uncap. That was something that I wanted to talk about, but
what's the 149, the real 149 do? Was it how many cap rotations?
So I'd have to look for it.
Like, it was just in the screen like 30 minutes ago.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking the original 159. Right. So the Montblanc 149 is 1, and I think it's 1 3/4. Yeah, 1 3/4. So
I for some reason I felt this wash of relief when it was less than 2.
Yeah. And is there ink in here? I think I cleaned it out. But I do enjoy this Montblanc.
It's
nothing says you're better than everybody else in the room when you walk into a room. Nothing says I'm better than you when I walk into a room better than a Montblanc 149. And you know what? If Montblanc hired me to do a commercial, which they won't, they only use good-looking dudes like Cillian Murphy and fucking Hugh Jackman. But if they did hire me, I would just be like, with the music in the background and the cool, suit and tux. I'm wearing a tux.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you got it right now.
I'd be there and I'd be like, nothing says I'm better than you than a Montblanc 149. Nothing
let's just
says
be
you're
honest
beneath
with
me. Right. Nothing says you're beneath me better than Montblanc 149. So, yeah. So, I mean, I do appreciate the Montblanc 149 and also the Montblanc 146. I definitely do. I've been growing appreciation for this pen here, the one that I stole from Goldspot. Borrowed from Goldspot.
Uh-huh.
The only thing that does bother me, like I said, is that you have to be extremely cautious of this felt lining that is on the inside because it erodes away very easily. So you start to expose the brassing underneath this like felt soft material, and it doesn't look good. It looks like it's getting chewed away and stuff like that. And also some people... Do you remember that episode we did? Not the one with Michał Kulka. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at this. That was just... I put my finger in and pulled it out, and some of that material just came off right now.
Sounds like a personal problem.
So, yeah. I'm glad I didn't pay for this. I'm going to send it back to you. Don't worry. But not the episode with Michał Kulka, but... We talked about Yarushi a couple of episodes before that. That's how we ended up talking to Michał.
The multi-layered Yarushi thing.
So when it comes to, and I spoke to several people, when it comes to the pilot, I forgot the name of these.
Yukari?
No, this is not a Yukari Royale. This is like fucking fast food version of it. It's the
fast food version.
Nippon art. When it comes to the Nippon art, they're silk screened on. And they have like very nominal paintings. The syrup. Yeah, the syrup, whatever they call it. The Yarushi lacquer. It has a nominal number of Yarushi lacquer. So, like all that studying for the test has pushed out knowledge and replaced my head with dumbass knowledge that is useless. But yeah, it has nominal Yarushi layers, and it's not like a hand painted art. It's just silk screened or whatever they call it. So they're really charging a lot more than they should. And that's the feedback I got from a lot of people. So I don't, I haven't looked into it. I didn't have time, but yeah, there's that.
So you have your eye on anything particular now that you're back on the pen game, if I guess we could say.
Yeah. So I'm back into the pen game. And of course, Neve, my good friend Neve over at Yaffa Brand sent me one of these.
Okay.
Not my favorite. It's kind of boring, right? Yeah. This is what is this one? The Toledo?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I feel like it's you know, like it's a vintage style pen. It has blue, white stripes, and you know, it has a Yovo number 6 size nib, and that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to talk about Jaffa brands and I want to say something excited about something,
Okay.
Quadwood, son. And then also this fucker right here, love it. And I've said this before. I liked it a lot. Piston filler. This is the Paniter La Grande Bellezza Rocco. Do you have these at Goldspot?
No. I have not gotten into those, nor the Conklin Toledos.
The Toledo, I can say why. I can understand why you didn't get into those, but I can't understand why you wouldn't get into this one.
Well,
this is the Paniter La Grande Bellezza. This is the one-time Paniter La Grande Bellezza. Is not like $8,000. Doesn't have like a metal body that looks like a fishnet stocking. Mm-hmm. It's made of actual acrylic. It's a piston filler. You know, it's a simplistic piston filler, magnetic cap, which I do this a lot.
Yes.
And
it does have a very satisfying magnetic cap.
Yes, sure. And can drive other people crazy. Mm-hmm. But I mean, at work, I guess no one's going to complain to me about it because, well,
then you will beat them up with that pen.
No, I'm kind of the boss, so they won't.
I got another pen to take a look at.
Let's see it.
It's the Kaweco Sport. This is the Kaweco Collection Sport in the Iguana Blue.
Iguana Blue?
Yeah, Iguana Blue. So not exactly the same blue that I'm wearing here. It's got a very distinct green tinge about it.
I like it. Is that aluminum?
Yeah.
Is it aluminium?
Yeah, it's got
Don't do that.
No, what?
I love that. I love that right there. What you're doing when it's like that sound. Oh,
that like metal tinkling sound. When
you
take the cap off of the
I like it. I like it a lot.
I get these. It's very satisfying in that regard, and also it's like a satin finish. It's not this.
Yeah, it's a
shiny,
matte finish.
So, yeah, feels very good.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's a sweet pen.
Yeah,
I recommend when it comes to the aluminum finishes not to get the clip. Because the clip can literally scrape off the paint on the edges of that octagonal shape or hexagonal shape, whatever shape that is.
Octagonal.
Right? Is it octagonal? It's the octagon. Dana White's going to come after us for using the word octagon.
Yeah, these are some really nice, sturdy pocket pens. I would recommend, like Roy said, not to get the pocket clip, but get the converter. I would get the little slide converter that goes with it, because doing the cartridge thing. I mean, you could syringe fill the international cartridges, or if you just prefer, trying to use something that's converted, the sport converter works pretty well. The slide one, not the squeeze one. Don't like the squeeze one.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on with Monte Grappa?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, have you heard from Monte Grappa? Do you got anything Monte Grappa? Anything Monte Grappa related? Because this is the last thing I got from Monte Grappa.
They've been using the Monte Grappa-ite or Monte Grappite or whatever that they refer to that type of resin. The very swirly, striated type of resin. They've been using that a lot more recently, and they actually used it in a group of Elmo 02s that are only available exclusively in North America through Kenro. So Elmo 02 is like a very dressed down version. That's a Zero, what you got there, which is really nice. I like the Zero's cap finial, which almost looks like a watch face. It's very, very nice.
They actually jack up the price for this, because what you're getting there, instead of a piece of glass, is you're getting a piece of sapphire crystal, which serves no other purpose other than being sapphire crystal.
Exactly. But it looks really, really cool in that regard, though.
Yeah, but if it wasn't that's what I'm saying. If it wasn't sapphire and it was just like resin and clear or glass,
I don't know. It would probably come across as being like a cheap version of it. That's why it's so eye catching to see.
But how would you know? Like that could just be glass, tempered glass.
It looks really impressive because it's sapphire.
But you only think that because they tell you it's sapphire.
No,
but
do
you know that that's sapphire? Do you know that that's sapphire? Look at it. Do you know for sure that that's sapphire? It's a clear glass, right? Do you know that it's sapphire? How do you know that
know.
it's sapphire? You know why? Because the bearded guy at Kenro said it is. And that's the only reason you're like, oh, wow, that's awesome. It's sapphire. I mean, I'm sure he's not lying. I'm just saying, if you, like, let's say the Italians at Monte Grappa is like, oh, this is sapphire. And then Kenro is like, yeah, well, look at that. It is sapphire. And then they tell everybody it's sapphire. Now you have everybody believing it's sapphire. It very well not may be sapphire, right? Is that not a possibility?
I don't know, everything. When you start talking like that, everything just unravels. So
Right.
you know.
Like, this could be made of the same shit that fish tank over there is made of, but they convinced you that it's sapphire. And therefore, you're like, it looks extra cool because it's sapphire, but it may not be sapphire. I'm just
Well,
saying.
like let's look at it and compare it against the Peniter. What was it? The one
Roca?
with the personalization. No. The personalization one.
Yeah,
What
I
was
actually...
it even called the Metropolitan. They called it, right?
Yes. So I remember you sent me the Metropolitan, and then, like, the thing...
It just like
It fell apart.
It was
like
a
the
disaster.
section
But like
got...
also too is that
I
they
stored
had
it-
those.
I stored it in a special bin called the wastebasket.
Yes,
Yes.
that's a nice place to put it.
Right. So when I was moving offices, because I got, I was packing my stuff, and my suggestion box, which is also the special bin, that's where it went. So it's still there. I think it's on a landfill in Staten Island somewhere, and like,
Yeah, being
But-
pecked apart by seagulls for the
no. Even the seagulls are like, fuck
The
this. We're not
seagulls are,
touching
no.
this shit. Yeah.
seagulls are like, I don't even want to put my initials in this thing.
Yeah, but this is a very nice pen. This is the Monte
is.
Grappa Zero. The Monte Grappa Zero. Does zero represent the actual amount of sapphire in the finial? Well, I mean, why is it called a zero? Huh?
Probably.
No, I'm saying. Listen. If they say it's sapphire, I'm sure it is. Right?
Yeah.
How would I
But
ever find out? I wouldn't.
The Elmo O2s they came in 3 different colors now that have the Monte Grappa-ite type resin.
Oh,
but
yeah.
they're less on the actual hardware part, so it doesn't have the sapphire crystal, top finial. It just has a nicer looking clip. It's like an Art Deco sort of clip.
I love this.
That's the
you ever do
arrow.
this?
Yeah.
I love that. I wish there was like a slow motion version of this. Like, watch this. I want you to hear the sound too. No, wait, I messed up.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
it.
there you go.
And it comes to a dead ass stop.
Nice.
This is Diplomat is a really good brand. It's got zero sapphire in the finial also.
no sapphire, unfortunately.
Right. And I love this clip. Oh.
Yeah. Have you
Yeah.
seen the TikTok that I did with the 5 satisfying reasons why I love the Diplomat arrow?
No, you want to put it up on the screen so everybody can watch it? Let's
see.
do that.
God, you need me with this thing here. Like, let me go find, because I don't have to look for it on. Let's see, on Goldspot's Instagram here. Hold on,
Quadwood.
I'm looking at a different screen. Let's go here.
You know what I realized? The Quadwood has... Is this section metal or no, it's plastic? Yeah, I like this Quadwood very much.
Where is it?
Monte
I had it
Grappa.
here.
My Prezu. The Waldman Prezu. It's such a heavy pen.
Let's share. Chrome tab.
So, I'm holding up the Waldman Prezu. This is not a really well-known pen in the States. I told Bryce, like, it's just too much. So let's put this up. Can you turn the volume up?
Can I do that?
Yeah, there's a little volume button at the bottom, and it's on mute right now. So if you click it, you might be able to hear it. This is going to be so confusing for people. Okay, all right, so scroll up and back down. I can hear it. I think that means everybody else can hear it.
Well, it'll replay anyway.
Yeah. What ink is that?
I think I write it at the end of this one.
So you think you could tell
There it is.
Wow.
Robert Oster Barossa Grape.
heaven from hell?
But this basically talks about the same exact thing you were saying about the arrow.
I love your handwriting, man.
Thank you.
I can't print like that.
but it's got a really like satisfying feel to the matte aluminum
Yeah.
body. It's got a nice like profile that just fits very well in the hand, like balance wise. And of
You're
course,
gonna
like,
have to
the
mute it
snap
because
cap.
that's copyrighted music. We can't have that on the podcast.
No, we're
gonna get-
talking over it, so you don't hear what kind of that is. No.
Is that the new?
Yeah, it's the
What is that?
Elox version.
Is that a broad?
Is a broad.
Yeah. I wish I could write as well as you do with a broad.
Yeah, well,
So
I
you
just
think you can
kind of have to
tell.
change purposefully, like
Yeah.
the way that because I do writes with like broad stuff, medium. I usually don't
right,
mess
cut
around
it.
so
I
much.
can't
with
hear you.
extra fine. Sorry.
Because of all the background. But look at that handwriting. 5 satisfying reasons why I love the Diplomat Elox. The matte double anodized aluminum body. Okay. I mean, I love your handwriting. I wish I could. I try to copy that kind of handwriting. I fail miserably. Yeah. I gotta. You know what? The thing is, I gotta be willing to write with a broad more often, which I'm not.
Yeah, that's really the key is to just expose yourself to the different nib sizes and just see what works. You know, like what kind of method or strategy to kind of open up a little bit because you have to write bigger.
Yeah.
So it may not
No,
be
but-
that comfortable.
Yeah, but you were writing small in print with a broad, and it still looked good somehow.
Yeah, well, but you have to allot for the fact that you're putting down a thicker line.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
hear
like
you.
you can't just write the same exact way that you would with an extra fine. You have to be able to be like, okay, if I'm making a loop for the E, it's not going to look like a C. You know, so you have to kind of make it a little bit bigger.
I wanted to talk about something really quick, just because I want to make fun of this, because we did this before, but I don't think people were privy to it. So,
Okay.
I utilize this often while studying. This is a highlighter by Sharpie, right?
Was this what we discussed during the episode that got canned?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that Riverside fucked up.
Yeah.
But what I love about this and what I find hilarious about Sharpie, because Sharpie is a brand known for permanent ink and markers and stuff like that. And for some reason, they just weren't able to get it done on the barrel of their own pen. Like I just
Coming
wiped,
off.
yeah, like right in the center. I just wiped like,
So the brand name, which is in black on this orange
Yeah.
pen, is just wiping off from you, just rubbing it.
yeah, I guess not right now. But I can.
You found like out of all the ones that you found that were defective, you found the one that isn't.
One that wasn't defective, and I'm making me look like a fool. Look, it's wiping away. Do you see that? I'm just rubbing it, and it's wiping away. The very brand that's called Sharpie can't. Why didn't they use their own Sharpie marker on the barrel of these Sharpie highlighters? Look, that used to say
sense.
Sharpie, right? Now I look like I just got ink printed. Right? Look at that. I wiped it away. I just say it's pretty bad.
but
They're
those came-
convenient though. They're
Those
convenient.
came in handy during studying, though, right?
Oh hell yeah, man! Hell yeah!
Did you color code your notes? You color coded with the different colors of the highlighter ink.
I kind of just went. No, I didn't. I was just
No.
like, you know what? I color coded based on what I felt like. I'm like, I feel like highlighting this in green. I feel like highlighting this in blue. I feel like highlighting this in pink. And then I realized smart people probably have a color coding method, and I did not.
Well, you'd have to come up with some sort of key to determine which color meant what, and then
Yeah.
how would that be helpful for you for studying? If
I
there's,
didn't.
Like, one thing,
I didn't. I just
Yeah.
kept reading it over and over until it was memorized and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And God, I hate. I still have nightmares from study. I don't even want to talk about it. But
Sorry.
like it's like trauma right now. But listen, it's time to wrap it up. It's that time. I had a really good time, and I think that
So did I.
yeah, I think we need to start reading some emails and comments from people because we haven't kept in touch with them in a while and stuff. Hey, why is my Joel figurine laying down? It wasn't like that before, was it? Did Ellie kill him?
Well, possibly.
Yeah, I can't wait for the TV series. Not sure I'm gonna get the remake of the first game because that game was already remade like two times. This is gonna be a third time it's remade for people like me to buy it. But anyway, I think we got to wrap this up, and I just want to thank everybody for listening and remind everybody, love you guys. Be well, be safe.
Stay inky.